communities, look how many wars we have
Oh,
created.
yes.
Look how many holdings we have
More
created.
people have died in
More
the
people
How
died.
many boundaries we have
Name of
created.
religions. Yeah.
It's
in
all
the
because
name
of the religion.
Yeah.
That's
Right?
why Rajneesh did not want to do anything.
Yeah.
He was strictly against that.
Right.
Nothing
I'm human
should
being.
be started on my name, no.
So the merging of an individual with a community is just a social gathering, a social practice. But merging of an individual soul with the highest cosmic intelligence is a true dharma. And that dharma can be practiced in each and every single human temple and not outside. So that's how widespread it should be. The moment you give it a name, it's lost. It has lost its meaning. There cannot be even name to it, like Pradeep is saying. It's just useless to give any word. And that's why Lao Tse said the same thing in Taoism. He says, by the time because I'm forced to give it a name, I'm calling it a Tao, but by the time I give the name, it's already spoiled.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to start thinking that Taoism is different
Yeah.
than Buddhism.
Yeah.
And that's a human nature.
Yeah. Hinduism better than Muslim.
Exactly.
Yeah, we keep
So
thinking that way.
He said that because I need to give a name, I'm giving the name Tao. But if you really want me, there is no name. Naming itself is a crime to this beautiful consciousness, which is nameless, formless. And that's what we have to go after. The vitality. Where is the joy? When you synchronize with the consciousness, the joy and the happiness and all that, the dance you will have, or you may have, it's just not going to be there doing all these ritualistic things, right? So the thing is that what we're really doing is following an image that used to exist. Buddha is dead, Mahavir is dead, Krishna is dead, and whatever we're doing are the memories of those great souls that one time lived on the face of this earth. Now, what are we doing with this? What if one of our relatives die? What do? You bury them, you burn them, you do whatever you, within matter of hours, you want to get rid of the dead body.
In the kuldi. Yeah.
But that's what we should do with these religions. The religions are the dead bodies. They don't have the same vibrance. They don't have the same vitality. They don't have the same connection with the cosmic intelligence that was at one time, that all these preachers manifested. But there is no joy left. Now we are carrying these religions on our shoulders like a dead body everywhere we're going. So there is no fun left. But on the contrary, by carrying these dead bodies, it has become a chore on our shoulder that, oh yes, because I am a Jain, because I am a Hindu, I have to do this, I have to do that, to the point that I may end up defending my so-called religions, even to the death that I am called in. And all these things are totally useless. While I could be enjoying my peaceful life with my wife, my children, my friends, and having a peaceful existence and trying to connect with a higher self, I'm called in to fight for America. I'm called in to fight for Hinduism. These gods were the one are supposed to be the highest, and we are the tiniest expressions of that God, and now I'm called in to defend my own God.
Right.
Look at the
Supposed to be the
look-
superpower, right?
Exactly. Look at the irony of the whole situation. When the God is supposed to be so much superior to me, now I have to defend that stupid statue of a God just because there is a threat to my God. If the God is so powerful, how can there be ever threat? What do you think God is? God is not like a small toy in your purse that you have to fight for. It's silly, right? So we have to, and these are not complicated things to understand. These are all simple things we all understand. We can understand with the right understanding, and that's what awareness is about, right? Awareness is a full implementation and observing your own mind, what it's doing. Is the mind being slave? Like we talked in last few lectures. Are we being slave to the surrounding community? Are we part of that bead and doing things that we should not be doing? Are we using our own intellectual, our wisdom, or are we just being carried away by the surrounding atmosphere? That's what requires the awareness. That's all it is. It's just awareness. Being aware of your everyday actions is the true religion. So we are treating all these religions as a dead bodies. It's like a bird used to sing at one time, and now the cage is left. Now we are worshipping the cage that
yeah.
used to harbor the beautiful bird, the song, and this and that.
Yeah.
That fun is gone, and now we're worshipping the cage.
Yeah.
And we're wasting our time and resources and all that precious moments
Correct.
that we have on this earth.
Correct.
So, this is the spiritual aspect that we need to develop. The material and the gods can be of several kinds, whether they are so-called religions or sports gods, or it could be alcohol gods, or it could be
Yeah.
heroin or marijuana gods. Doesn't matter whom we call God. As long as they're in a material form, we are in the wrong side. We are in the wrong direction. So what these religions have done is basically created compartments. And knowingly or unknowingly, these compartments have fostered the duality. And duality is the food for our ego. When the ego has to die to really merge with the consciousness at the samadhi level, these religions themselves, with the good intention or bad intention, we don't know, and we really don't have to get into the details of that, but indirectly it has created compartments in our mind. And we really have to realize that compartments, the duality, is the cause of our suffering. Whether it was planned or not, it doesn't matter. Whether it was intended or not, it doesn't matter. But we are suffering. And that suffering does not have to be. If we want to reach at the non-dual place, in a non-dual state of existence, where everything merges into one, if you want to have a respect for a blade of grass or a tiny insect which is sitting there and which is nothing but an expression of ultimate highest consciousness, if you want to have a respect, might as well have a respect for a Muslim neighbor who is right next to you. If you cannot do that, you cannot love the tiniest consciousness either. And if you look around, you don't have to go too far. The expression of consciousness is everywhere. The other day I was doing the gardening, little bit that I have left this year. I was telling Chirag, there were 2 insects sitting on a flower. They were copulating. They just stuck to each other. And I just put myself in their shoes. That look at this, the tiniest creatures, but they are so absorbed in a total tranquility, total oblivious that I was there watching it, and they just didn't care. Until I came a little closer, stupid of me, that made them fly away. They were still stuck to each other. I cannot imagine how the tranquil, the peace they must be experiencing of their bondage between themselves. All these are beautiful things, these are beautiful things for expressions. Every single level, at the cellular level, to the amoeba level, to your level, we are no different than even the tiniest ant or the tiniest mosquitoes, enjoying the same awareness and same part of the existence. This is the broadest possible religion that can exist. But if you want to experience that, you might as well drop your all identifications, including these so-called religions. So where is the true religion? True religion is much more bigger than what we have portrayed as. No matter how many followers of one particular religion may have, has no value. Just because followers the more followers is actually more of a gadda, hole that you are sinking in.
Hindrance.
More hindrance. Because now you're going to have more people telling you what to do than you would have been exploring on your own. So just because there is a strength of one religion over the other does not mean that you're on the right path. You could be on a more wrong of a path than if you were following on your own. In fact, there can be as many religions as the people on this face of the earth. God has never stopped creating. God has never stopped creating the multiplicity. As many people, as many religions. Why not? And this is the only religion that, if you would call a religion, can be inclusive and accepting every single religion as a religion. Your religion, your religion, your religion, my religion, or that tiniest creature's religions. It's fine. Everything is fine. And that's the only time we can reach to the peace, So the original intention of the religion was to spread the peace and the friendship. But the same peace and friendship is being broken because of the identification. The other day I had a patient, and he says, I couldn't stand. I went to my church, and we are Catholics, and our minister was spreading poison against the Protestants.
It's always there.
It's always
in their
there.
lectures, their priest lectures, always
Right.
there. Even India, if you visit
Right.
in India,
Right.
they literally speak really
Exactly.
bad words about the Hinduism.
Exactly.
Murti puja.
Right.
I'm literally aware about use kare. Chor, lutara, murti puja ko.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
what the hell?
They do that, yeah, exactly. And again, they are biased by their own egos because they want to defend their position. Otherwise, if their ego is not practicing to the highest, who's going to follow them?
And another thing very universally preached in them is that there is only one God, and that's Jesus.
There's only one way or no way.
Yeah, it's only Jesus. But this is a God. No, Jesus is the only God.
In fact, they name as a god. You cannot say Jesus, it says a god. Means God is Jesus, that's it.
No, that
Even
is
if-
When
yeah.
you say Krishna, you say no. Jesus is the only God.
Right.
that is, no, the same thing is in the Muslim also.
Everywhere,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Allah is,
Muslim,
Allah
they
is the
don't have
only
God.
God. Allah
They
is
don't
the
have
only
God,
They
but
have-
they have,
but they
they
have
have the
Muhammad.
prophet.
God, but
Muhammad.
They had Muhammad as a prophet.
Muhammad is the prophet. That's
And
Same thing.
I'm sure he was an enlightened soul too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
same thing.
But yeah, it's not, Islam is not whatever Muhammad said.
Exactly, yeah, right.
He was just like Jesus. you know.
Right, exactly. Everybody are the same, but it's just, we have to, so all these things are being done to just defend everybody's ego. And as long as the egos are alive, we will never have peace in this world.
And I hate this when they sing in our Jainism,
Mm-hmm.
Pradhanam Sarva Dharmanam Jainam Jayati Sasanam. I
Right.
said, what is this?
I know, exactly.
Sarva Dharmama Jain is
You
like
say
the
highest.
Pradhanam Dharma.
Pradhan.
Come on now. That's where your ego is. Like, when you have your ego, you are not Dharma anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Everywhere.
I felt
yeah.
the same.
I hate that. Come on, I'm Jain, but I said you are saying the wrong thing. You're not supposed to say this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing
I felt
can,
the same way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
only thing I can say in favor of religions is it establishes social norms of social behavior. Because if you go back to when the people were living in the caves, and if they were left to their own animal
Yeah,
instincts,
that's correct.
there was no way of forming a common force so that would for the betterment of the society. So the religions in the old days, there were no democracies, there were no government structures, so they were religions.
I totally disagree with that. The reason is that we define the people, jungle people and all as that uncivilized. They are the most closest to the nature, expressing their own instincts to the best possible level and enjoying. And the more civilized we have become,
The more animals we have.
animals we have become, and the more pollutions at the mind level we have become. If you really look at, you remember the movie, right? The one with the African
Yeah,
woman.
God must be crazy.
God must be
God must be
crazy.
crazy, yeah.
The people were so innocent, and so they were in tune. There was no hoarding, acquiring, or nothing there.
Even in Sansara, in the
Right.
initial they show the African American people living in their native life. and at the end they show the same African people holding the gun in their
Right,
hand.
exactly.
From where they have come,
Right.
from really living a nice life, now they are all the African peoples, they are
Getting
holding a
guns.
gun and they want to really kill their own race.
Right.
Bertrand Russell was a great philosopher from England. Once he visited one of the African tribes, and it was in the middle of night, the moon was at the highest, and these people started dance because they just felt dancing. The drums started, and they made Bertrand Russell dance with them. And after the dance and everything was over, he had so much joy, and he says he realized that how much we have lost by becoming civilized.
True.
Civilization itself creates
Complexity.
definitions, rules, regulations. We are so bogged down with all these things that it has killed our capacity to express our natural instincts to the fullest. And that's why we have made a mistake. So civilized society, yes, it has made it more organized,
It has
but it
more
also has
organized.
created a lot of
There is a-
problems.
More
Yeah, but
civilized
look
is
at-
more complex.
Exactly.
Well, at the same time, we have benefited, society as a whole benefits
Materially.
from
Materially, yes, but not
material,
spiritually.
Science.
They actually sent the group of psychiatrists to study the African tribes.
Yeah.
They studied for almost 3 years. They found not a single case of depression,
Yeah.
anxiety, stress, nothing. If a 1-year-old infant dies, what do? It's an act of God. There is something higher in your life, you accept it. But yes, we have made material progress.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that, but the spiritual progress has
Yes,
suffered
depleted.
significantly.
But yeah, that's true. But
So we
that's the
have
only
to have,
thing we can
and
do
I'm
is-
not saying we have to go back to the jungle and live there,
Yeah, exactly.
but we have to have a balance.
Right.
And that
Yeah.
balance has to be established with a positive dialogue.
This is a pendulum basically.
Yeah, it goes
So we're going both extreme,
Right.
and at some point we will reach to
in the middle. right.
exactly. So our efforts are really going after preserving the so-called dead bodies of all these great prophets or the enlightened souls that existed. But all these efforts are being commercialized, and it's like Michael Jordan signing up for yogurt commercial or something, you know. Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan. I mean, he performed the superhuman task. He was literally flying in the air and all that. But now he's signing every single advertisement he can come on and using his name, all the business.
Doesn't make him expert in yogurt.
Exactly, right, yeah. I'm
Just
just
because
giving an
he was a-
example, right.
You know.
So that's what's happening. We're catching on, not we or whoever, they're catching on the big names. And now in the name of Jesus and Krishna, nothing but business has been going on.
Yeah, stupid people.
Average of any society is stupid.
Did you ever go to Moscow? Did you ever go to Russia?
No.
You know, they have preserved the dead body of Lenin.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's so funny to see that. But he literally is still there. And they
Oh,
have
really?
maintained-
They're preserving-
the
preserving.
dead body of Lenin.
John Lennon?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Lenin.
Not
Lenin,
John,
not John
not
Lenin.
the other
Lenin.
Lenin.
No, no,
Ruler.
the ruler.
Ruler, Russian.
Oh,
Russian
Lenin.
ruler.
Communist.
The communist.
ruler, yeah.
Lenin's body they have preserved.
Oh, okay.
Not Lenin.
Oh.
Lenin.
Lennon.
So Vladimir Lenin.
Oh,
So his body is there. It was very funny. There is a long line waiting, but they have all, very ventilated and maintained the proper temperatures and everything. And
I'm going to
the
preserve
people-
Obama's body.
but they said, a lot of people say it's fake and whatever, but truth will never come out. But that's what
Doesn't
we're
matter
doing.
anyway now.
Yeah.
But it's a silly thing that we're doing. We really have to come out of all this child's game and really put ourselves on a path of mature religion that takes us to the proper place where we should really belong. And then we all can be butterflies. We all can be expressing our own true natural instincts of whatever we made out of. It's unpredictable. We don't even have to keep a target. You may be expressing something else, he may be expressing something else, but something beautiful will come out of it. That we know for sure, because whatever we'll be doing will be the consciousness will be doing through us, and it cannot be wrong. At one point, one way or the other, more beautiful word has to come from all these things. And a superhuman, that is the dream of our ancient rishis, who were actually expressing themselves at a sahaj samadhi level, at the natural spontaneous level, and a beautiful world was supposed to come out will come out. We just have to become vehicle. And that can happen only when we drop all the possible sources of identifications, including male and female. We have to drop the identifications of males and females. We have to drop the identifications of an adult and a child. We have to drop the identifications superior, inferior, rich, poor. All these things have to be dissolved. Then only we can make a spiritual progress. Thank you so much for today.
Actually, they were saying,
Yes.
Osho was saying, whether Mahavir was born or not, whether Buddha was born or not, whether Ganpati was born or not,
Right.
we should not follow Mahavir, Buddha or Ganpati. We should follow their preaching, teachings.
Teachings, of course.
We are not doing that.
We are not doing
We are
that.
not
Yes,
doing that.
absolutely.
That's one thing we should be doing instead of just doing
last
prayer.
sentence.
That's what they said.
That's what they say.
Krishna said, I mean, I will study I tamne કહું છું, right?
Right,
It's
right.
not my own.
Sure.
And you should find your own way. હું
Exactly.
કહું, use your brain.
Buddha, that was the last words of Buddha was up dipo bhava.
Yeah.
You become your own guiding light.
Yes.
Do not follow me. Find out your own path. And that's the way it's going to come out, right? So that's the way we all should do that. So, but we are not doing it.
And exactly. And the stupid world has Buddha all over and Mahavir and Krishna and Jesus all over, and you are worshipping their images.
Absolutely.
And not
So
following.
now we are going to find out how fungi.
No, the thing is,
Right. How the consciousness is expressing.
no,
So
it
much
is
for today.
becoming
Thank
more
you.
and
Thank you.
more. See, they now